Namaste, welcome to Rasa Yoga. Swatantriya, the radical freedom flow. In Tantra, there is this beautiful teaching of freedom, absolute freedom, called Swatantriya, and it is the radical freedom that is the essence of our being. Swa means self. Tantra can mean a loom. So Swatantriya is the self-looming capacity to co-create our lives with source energy. Swatantriya is also defined as independence, like full independence, but with the understanding that healthy independence, healthy freedom from within leads to healthy interdependence. That we know that we all belong to each other and we want to live in such a way where we support each other, exalt each other, have relationships with each other that are true and genuine and authentic. And also that in our energy body, we welcome a full, free flow of energy in our subtle body. I'd like to show you one mudra called the Grantita mudra. The Grantis are knots, and in the energy body, there are three main energy knots in the sacrum, the root of the heart, and the third eye, the Brahma, the Vishnu, and the Shiva Grantis. And as we practice with pranayama, chanting, mantra, asana, meditation, and all of the ways of yoga, that these energy knots gradually loosen and allow the energy to flow with real freedom. And so in honor of our radical freedom, I'd like to show you this Grantita mudra, where you interlace the fingers and then bring the left thumb over the right, then bring the tip of the thumb to the tip of the index finger on each hand to create that seal. Then the hands in their shape and form resemble a knot. Now this mudra can be held in the lap, more down by the low belly, up by the heart center, or even up at the throat, and there could be other places as well. So these are places that the mudra is commonly held, and this helps to untie energetic knots in our own energy centers in our body. If we were to work here by the throat, it would help us to untie the knots through the throat chakra and to help us with the freedom of our honest, true, and compassionate speech. Here at the heart, to help us to untie the knots of the heart, to spin the prayer wheel of love, and to sincerely offer blessing energy into the world. So place your hands with Grantita mudra where you feel called in your body and practice right now. And while we hold Grantita mudra, I'll chant just a few verses from the praises for the Mahashakti. In Tantra, in certain traditions of Tantra, Swatantriya Shakti is revered as one of the most exalted forms of the goddess, the freedom Shakti, the self-looming. How do we choose to co-create our lives? How do we choose to self-loom and to weave meaning out of our lives? How do we choose out of our own freedom to show up for the transformation that is possible in our lives and to show up out of our freedom to really look out to the world and to each other and see where we are being called to step up and serve. Swatantriya Shakti, she raises the bar for all of us, from victimhood into empowerment, from just being self-centered all the time, asking what's in it for me, and shifting that perspective and saying, how may I serve? How can I serve? Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chaitana Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Take a beautiful breath in. Gently open your hands and blow this blessing breath into your hands. And give yourself a blessing of this Swatantriya, this freedom breath. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, pour it down. Let's come to downward facing dog. Walk it out a little bit. Ujjayi. Please walk forward. Separate the feet as wide as the mat, outer edges of the feet parallel. Hinge your hips back. Unlock your knees. Get your hip bone and the greater trochanter back behind the line of the heels. Lengthen the neck, elongate the spine. Make as much space as you can between the pelvic bones and the rib cage, and breathe this freedom breath through your whole body. Now lift and spread your toes, and then claw your toes down into the floor and pulse both directions. Ground your feet. Pull the mound of your big toe in towards the opposite inner heel. The mound of the big toe towards the opposite inner heel, and do this on both feet simultaneously. Slide your hands to your shin bones. Anchor through the legs. Inhale, come up. Step the feet about hip distance apart. Reach up, fearless heart namaskara. Some of you can step your feet all the way together. Ground into the earth, reach up. Lift up through the back of the lungs, curl back. Exhale, long spine to the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot back, knee down. Inhale, float the breath into the back of the ribs, curl up and back, Anjaneya. Exhale, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through, right knee down. Float long through your spine, front and back, and curl back a little more for this round. Push into the earth, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Bow in, root down, rise up. Reach, earth and sky. Curl up and back. Offer it up. Right leg up to step through this Swatantriya radical freedom practice. Will be a focus more on back bends. Lengthen through the spine. Bow in. Reach. One more. Reach up. Fold. Lengthen. Downward facing dog. Step back with both feet. Bend your knees. Claw your tiger paws down into the earth. And pounce a little bit. Squeeze the outer forearms in, claw the tiger paws, then hold knees bent, hug the outer shins in, sweep the inner thighs back, float the back ribs, draw the low back in, tone the navel, get lower through the knees, Offer your heart towards the earth. Untie the knots of the heart and open up this freedom from within. Re-extend the legs. Inhale, right leg up. Step it through. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, tiger paws, right leg up. Inhale, forward plank. Lower. Lower the right foot. Inhale, cobra. Shoulders back. Exhale, down dog, left leg up. Inhale, step through. High crescent. Float the back ribs as much as you can. Lift out of the low back. Exhale, tiger paws, left leg up. Inhale, one leg plank, lower. One more on each side. Float the right leg up. Inhale, high crescent. Tone the navel, lungs full and wide through the rib cage. Ground the feet. Sweep open through the heart, tone the navel, left leg up. Inhale, sweep forward. Tone the navel, float the back ribs as much as you can. Inhale, left leg up, lower. Down dog. Lower your knees. Let's build the midline a little bit and squeeze the block between your inner thighs. Tiger dog. Bend knees, lift heels, hug the outer forms in, and make sure your tiger paws are aligned straight across. Inhale, pulse forward, hug the block, and exhale, up and back. 4 more times. Focus on the inner adductor power. The inner adductors are the protectors, the warriors, the warrioress for the health of the low back, especially when we go to back bends. Then lower down. You might have to take the block out, and we're gonna bring the feet out in front of us for forms of Purvottanasana. Now this is the sunrise of the heart through the front of the body. Squeeze the block, take your hands behind you, turn them slightly out, bend both knees, feet forward, hug the block, keep the back of the neck long, hug the block, bend your elbows a little bit, hug the block, inner thighs down, float up through the outer hips, keep the neck long, bend your elbows, anchor the arm bones back and externally rotate the upper arm a little more. Then lower down. Purvottanasana. We try this in a second form with the legs more extended. Hug the block, rock back on the heels in a dorsiflexion. So lift up, feet out, dorsiflex. Not dropping in the neck, keep the back of the neck long. Tone through the midline, lower. This time, plantar flexion and try to ground the whole foot to the ground. Purvottanasana. Ground the ball of the foot, hug the block. Externally rotate the upper arms, keep the back of the neck long. And exhale, lower down. Remember that feeling, and we'll come back to it in a little bit. Come back to Adho Mukha. Feel the opening through the shoulders after Purvottanasana. Inhale, right leg up. Draw the knee forward. You can have a block under the right hand. Pigeon. Stay. Use both blocks and take your hands up on both blocks. Press down through the back knee and the front knee, hands on the blocks. Draw in and float up. Float the space into the low back ribs more and scoop up through the arms. Draw the knees towards each other, square the hips as much as possible. Breathe back and wide through your lungs. Then reach up and cross the right wrist over the left. Bend both elbows, touch the opposite shoulder blade. Float up through the back of the body as much as you can. Spin the back of the hands towards each other and lengthen the back of the neck and rise up and curl a little more. Then reach up and spin the hands to each other. Exhale, release. Let's switch into the other side. Left knee forward. So we'll focus on this progression in back bends for the full freedom, Shakti, the radical freedom through the heart. Hands on the blocks, whichever height you need. Ground down through both legs. Curl the back toes under. Back knee on the ground. Hug it in. Breathe and expand your lungs and the rib cage. Scoop up. Lengthen through the neck. Cross the other wrist over. Curl the hands behind to the opposite shoulder blade. Bring the back of the hands towards each other. Lengthen. Then reach. Spin the hands to each other. And release. Switch back. First side. Bring it into a thigh stretch. Bend the back knee. Use your right hand on your thigh or onto the block. Reach back to the inner edge of the foot and kick the foot and the hand against each other a little bit to build the inner adductor power. Then spin the hand over the direction of the toes. Draw the knees towards each other. Square to center. Float and expand the lungs as much as possible. Reach right arm up. Bend elbow. Touch left shoulder blade, spin the thumb down, the back of the spine, and then curl. Reach. Other side. Feel free to use the block, hand to thigh. Kick the inner foot and the hand against each other and build up this midline power. Then spin. The hand over the direction of the toes. Make space between your front femur and the front hip joint so you're not collapsing in the joints. We're building effective strength and effective length in Rasa Yoga, and we're not collapsing into the joints of the body. Reach up, bend the top elbow, touch the right shoulder blade, spin it and curl. Then slowly extend, reach up through the spiral of the little finger, and down dog. Come down to your knees and sit back into a form of Vajrasana. Come back to the Grantita Mudra. In the lap, the heart or the throat. Rest into your breath. Visualize any area of your life that feels knotted up or entangled, being breathed into by the Swatantriya Shakti, by the radical freedom of spirit. Wherever this is for you in your life, a breath of radical freedom, so that we may serve with the whole of our being, with the integrity of our being, with the authenticity of our being, and with the power of love. Let's strengthen the sankalpa of service through a few more back bends together. Bring the block to the inner thighs. I like to put a blanket under my knees just to have that extra kindness for myself. Squeeze the block, curl the toes under. Hinge the hips back, float the breath into the back of the ribs, and visualize the kidneys inflating, the adrenals, so much space, the wings right at the base of the ribs, really floating back and wide. And then scoop up, Big expansion and elevation through the rib cage. Tone and hug the block. Tone the navel as you exhale, lengthen the neck. You can stay right here or gently float the feet off the floor and build that midline power. Then lower the feet back down. Continue to practice here if this is enough. Or anchor down, squeeze the block. Breathe into the opening of the heart with as much space as possible out of the low back. Keep the back of the neck toned and long. Soft and wide through the eyes. Press. If you have your hands on the heels, press down, root down, and that'll give you a little boost to rise up more. You have to hug the block. The deeper you go, the more the legs want to turn out. So hug the block and bring the freedom into the whole low back and heart more. Press down into the earth. Inhale up and sit back on the heels or on the block. Grantita mudra once more. A form of Lagu Vajrasana, the little thunderbolt. Let's continue to use the block to strengthen the adductors for the freedom in our hips, our low back, and our heart. Press the tops of the feet to the earth and spread the little toes. Inhale, reach up through the right arm, bend the elbow and touch the left shoulder blade. In fact, curl the toes under once more, and let's take a variation. Right hand to the left shoulder blade, left hand to the heel, spin the right thumb down into the channel of the spine, lengthen the neck and press the palate back against the arm, and you can stay right here. Then push into the earth, come up, and let's switch. Left arm up, bend, touch the right shoulder blade, spin the thumb down the channel, anchor the legs, hug to the block, curl back. Create as much support as you can. Push down with the hand through the heel. Brighten through the energy of the heart. Soft gaze, deep breath. And come up. Now go both at once, and if you like to bring the feet, tops of the feet to the earth, curl back for Ustrasana. Left hand to calf and extend right arm back, sweep, left arm over, feel free to touch and touch. Bring it up, sit back, Grantita, visualize the freedom flow, the radical freedom, the Swatantriya Shakti flow through the body, self-looming, co-creating, raising the bar and serving. Okay, come lie down onto your back. I'd like to finish with an extended leg form. There's two possibilities for this. One can be from a bridge form, curl, come back onto the balls of the feet, spin the inner thighs down, sweep the shoulders under and support the hips with your hands. Fingers and thumbs wrap to the outer edges. Then extend one leg forward with dorsiflexion in the foot, pull it back onto the ball of the foot, and extend the other leg. This is that Purvo Tanasana form. If you like, reach both out with dorsiflexion or extend and float open through the whole freedom flow and the extension of the spine. Steady the gaze, soft and wide. Walk it back in, float the heels, release the hands, separate the feet, relax the knees to each other. Grantita mudra here, wherever it feels comfortable for you. And visualize again, like you're summoning forth and invoking the remembrance of your freedom from inside out. The radical freedom that is not dependent on outer circumstances to exist. This is the innermost freedom of your own soul. This might have been enough for you, and you relax and take some finishing poses, or the friends who'd like to come up into Urdhva and take that form, please do. Rise up, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Can rock the bhakti a little bit. Through the heart, claw the tiger paws, sweep open through the heart, arm bones back, and then walk. 1 foot, 2nd foot, and extend through the whole of the spine and out through the legs. Visualize this full flow of radical freedom, Swatantriya Shakti, flowing through the whole of your life. Walk it back in, lift the heels, have enough space so that when you come down, the knees are not too compressed. Then feet wide, knees together, and Grantita Mudra where it feels good for you. Visualize any places that are holding the knots of entanglement and imprisonment being breathed into with total love and real remembrance. And let your arms open wide, feet wide. Take both knees to the left. If you like, you can support the top knee down onto a block so it has a little support and doesn't go all the way, and the same is true for the outer. So you could use the 2 blocks in this way, where you have an outer, kind of depends what blocks you have. The heavy wood blocks are really nice for this. So you can be right here and breathe through the opening through the side of the body. And come up through center. If you like the blocks for support, find that right adjustment for you. Take the arms wide, palms open. Breathe back and wide along the spine, all the way up, widening out to the sides. Come back up. Happy baby with the right foot. Keep the left knee bent. Here you can put a block underneath the right thigh so it doesn't have to go all the way to the floor. Keep the left arm wide, pull down on the outer edge of the right foot, and slowly extend the inner left thigh to the earth. Reach out through the inner edge of the foot. And then for greater opening and unraveling, extend the left arm alongside your ear, palm open. So this is supine, close to the earth, very well supported, and quite dynamic too. Pull down against the foot and push the foot against the hand. Left heel into the earth, spin the inner left thigh, and breathe back and wide through the whole side of the spine, open palm of the hand. Bend the left knee, right foot down, switch. Left leg up, happy baby. Place the block under. Pull down on the outer edge of the foot. Bend the right knee, dorsiflex. Right arm wide. Rest your breath into the back of the body. As you're ready, slowly reach through the whole inseam of the right leg, out through the inner foot, spiraling down from the inner foot all the way up through the inner thigh, all the way up to the pubic bone. That's one spiral from the inner foot all the way up. Reach the right arm right alongside your ear, palm open. Float the front ribs back and breathe back and wide through the back rib cage. Release, and now full happy baby. And visualize a little innocent, gorgeous, happy baby, just with total freedom, rocking and laughing, expressing, enjoying the moment. Rock it from side to side. Breathe this freedom flow into your mind, your heart, your whole body. And if you like, hands over heels from the inside and extend out a little bit to each side and rock it. Each side of the earth, and then rebend the knees and shift the hips from side to side. Then give yourself a nice hug, a great embrace. And I highly recommend to come and fully dissolve and relax into Shavasana. Allow yourself this gift and stay for several minutes. Relax through the whole of your being. Slow, deep breath. How do you choose to weave a life of meaning, of magic, as Swatantriya, the self looming? So keep untying the knots of the heart, spin this prayer wheel, and offer blessing energy through the meaning and the creativity of your own life. Thank you for your practice, your presence, and your deep soul beauty. Namaste.